God, I do not need blankets. I don't need these blankets. Oh, a silica pack. Hello everyone, welcome back to Foster the Meeple, a channel all about board games and board gaming things. I'm back again today with another just a bit because I felt really tall. And today's preview video is on Grendel, a game of crime and mayhem from Off the Page Games, who very kindly sponsored today's video. As per usual with my preview videos, this is not going to be an official how to play. In fact, I am only going to be covering 2 of the 4 possible factions in today's video. It's also going to be a little bit of a different format. I'll give you the overview of how the game works with Jeff, and then we'll add in a few snippets of gameplay for you to enjoy and kind of help you see how the game actually works. So without further ado, let's learn a little bit about Grendel. Welcome to the gritty streets of New York, where 4 powerful factions battle for control over a chaotic New York City in one bloody night. Will you command the relentless Grendel, the corrupt mobsters, the tactical police, or the relentless vigilante Argent? Using unique mechanics and asymmetrical powers, each player spreads influence, triggers explosive mayhems, and unleashes chaos in their quest for dominance. Strategic aggression and clever timing are key, because when a tower topples, it's time to throw punches and claim your turf. But what does any of that mean? I'm so glad you asked. Before I throw it over to Jeff and Jamie, let me give you just a little brief overview. So Grendel, a game of crime and mayhem, from here on forth I will call it Grendel, is an asymmetrical game for up to 4 players, and there are 4 different factions you can be. Each of those factions is going to function slightly differently. In this preview, like I mentioned before, we'll be covering the police and Grendel. If you're interested in learning more about the other factions, please make sure to click the link in the description. That'll take you to the Kickstarter page where you can learn lots more. Now, in this game, you're going to be playing over New York City. There are 3 regions. We have Queens, we have Brooklyn, and we have Manhattan. You are going to be scoring each of those territories when a mayhem happens, and that is going to happen 3 times throughout the game. Then an end game scoring is going to happen where you'll score 2 of those areas again. So with all that being said, I say we throw it over to Jeff and Jamie. Past me and Jeff are going to explain how the game works and show you some gameplay, so let's get into it. This game is played in 2 phases, and those phases are going to happen basically 3 times. It's the planning phase and the mayhem phase, all right? So what we're going to be starting with is the planning phase. We are asymmetrical factions, okay? I am Grendel. So during the planning phase, I am going to follow a list of steps, and Jeff is going to be doing something different. The planning phase, we are essentially just prepping for mayhem. During this phase, we have these aggression tokens that we are going to be, by doing our actions, plopping into these towers. There's 3 towers. We have Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn. These aggression tokens are weighted differently. We have 1s, 2s, and then 1, 3. The 1 is the heaviest, the 2 is the second, the 3 is the lightest. As we put them in the boxes, at some point, the tower...
Well, let's just show them.
Oh, okay.
I think it's
let's put it up here so they can really see.
I think it's important maybe to just so they can see what happens when the trigger is met.
I'm getting a lot of aggression in here.
Boom.
Boom. Roasted. And they all just fall out at the bottom.
Mayhem happens.
Okay? So we're going to be putting our tokens into the towers, waiting for it to fall. As soon as the tower falls, whoever's turn that is, they're going to finish their current turn, and then we are going to go into the mayhem phase. The mayhem phase, we are going to get the aggression. Mayhem.
Mayhem.
Mayhem. Please, may I have some ham?
Yeah, you're saying mayhem.
Mayhem. Mayhem.
Interesting.
Anyways, we are going to be gaining aggression that we put into the tower on our track that we are then going to spend in order to do a variety of things, whether it's move, whether it's to punch people, whether it's to play cards from our hand, to essentially try and achieve the most scoring points that we can. We score in different ways. At the end of the Mayhem, when I get to 0 or when Jeff gets to 0, we're going to score. I score for within the Mayhem region, which I'm going to keep saying Mayhem because that's how it's pronounced. Mayhem. Mayhem. Anyways, I'm going to score for each of the regions where I have a fear token, which is my influence
Region,
token here.
not token.
Yeah, region. So if I have 5 tokens in here, it's still only going to be 1 point. And that's going to be wherever the Mayhem happens, okay? For Jeff, he's going to be scoring a point in each of the regions in that section where he has majority. However, neither of us will score if there are 3 or more factions in that region.
Yep. Regardless of amount.
Regardless of the amount. And you may notice, you're like, whoa, there's stuff on here that I don't recognize. Well, we do put out the mob and the argent pieces, some of them, because it just kind of clogs it up and it makes it a little bit more difficult in a 2-player game.
Yep.
So once Mayhem happens 3 times, we will then do a final scoring where wherever it triggered last, so let's say it triggered in Brooklyn, we'll score the other 2 regions one last time. Whoever has the most points wins. So let's talk about the planning phase and what we're doing. I am Grendel. I am cool. I am the star of the show. Jeff's a police. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the police. In planning, what I'm going to do on my turn is I'm going to be drawing 3 of these chits from my bag, okay? And let me just get 1 of each, so I'll show you everything. I will lay them out. 1 at a time, I will place a chit on 1 of these 3 tracks. If I match it, the color, so Shock Fork red, Speed white, Hunter Rose gray, I also get the kicker. So let's start with the Hunter Rose. So if I place out the Hunter Rose, I get to take the Hunter Rose action, which means I get to place an aggression in one of the towers. And I can choose, it could be 1, 2, or my 3, whatever I want. If I am placing, now I could place this here if I wanted to. That's fine. I'll just get this action and I won't get the kicker. But as I place things out, I will then also trigger. So if I'm placing this, now I get to do this and this. As soon as I fill up one of these sections with 4, I am then going to get to upgrade. So I'll remove 2 from the game completely. Then I'll get to add 2 upgrade tokens, which are going to give me a bonus action to put into my bag. And then we're going to remove all of these. Bada bing, bada boom. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what I'm doing. As soon as I place out my 3 chits and I do all of the actions, we're heading over to Jeff's turn, or Jeff gets to do. And Jeff, what do you do on your turn?
Yeah, so
during
the basic
phase?
Premise of what I'm trying to do is area control. I have this wheel mechanism here, which is basically my cop cars. And I'm going to move each of these 1 or 2 spaces clockwise. So for example, on my first turn, maybe I'd move this to 1 space. I'm then going to activate that section of the wheel. And then I'm going to do that again with my second car. The reason why you might want to keep these cars together is you'll notice there's a handcuff symbol in between. If I keep these cars together at the end of this kind of turn, I'm able then to arrest. And arrest means basically to remove a piece from the board. And when I arrest, I'm going to place pieces in my jail. So the mob will be actual mob players. Jamie's fear tokens will be arrested, and the Argent's claws will be arrested as well. I can put out my wagons, police wagons, to allow myself more access to different jail regions on my board. I'm only permitted to have 1 of each faction's pieces in my jail at a time. So for example, if I arrest a mob and put him here, if I go to arrest another mob, it needs to be replaced. In this instance, it doesn't really matter, but if this was the example and I had a open jail, I would need to place the mob token that I just arrested in the open jail and remove the one from my board back to the region that I had arrested in. Or any region, actually. Sorry, I misspoke.
You get to choose.
I get to choose the region it goes back into. When I completely go around the wheel, I'm able to upgrade one of my sections. And you'll notice all of these little upgrade tokens. So these will basically I can choose where to slot them in, and it just makes each region adds an extra action a little bit more powerful. And that happens automatically when I move a car past the upgrade space, which is this white line here. Anytime arrests happen, yeah, it is upgrading my abilities to some degree. So this one, which is to place out a captain and 2 grunts. So you'll notice these are my captains and these are my grunts. Mm-hmm. So this action allows me to put out a captain and 2 grunts, but if I have a piece in here, that's not mine. If I have someone arrested in this jail, I can put out 3 grunts as opposed to 2. All right, so I have a little bit of like bonus stuff too. So anytime I arrest, I'm allowed to deploy a grunt anywhere I have presence on the board. Mm-hmm. Similarly, anytime I destroy, which is to remove pieces from the board, not to arrest it, to remove it from the board, mm-hmm. I also can place a grunt anywhere I have presence. Mm-hmm. I think that's basically it. It's pretty straightforward. I do also have cards, just like Jamie does, that I can spend during the Mayhem rounds to do things.
When we trigger a Mayhem, the first player token is going to move.
You're doing it on purpose now.
Mayhem. First player token is going to move. Whoever triggered it is basically going to get to go first in the Mayhem phase. We also can sell up to 2 of our cards for 1 aggression apiece. If you don't have at least 1 aggression during the Mayhem phase, then you don't get to score. So that's pretty important. And then we're just going to go and do our action. So how it works is you'll get to spend 3 aggression per turn. So if I had a total of 7 aggression, on my turn I could spend up to, well, you want to spend all 3. Then you're going to check to see if you have at least presence in 3 areas of that region. If you do, you get to draw a card. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then the next person will go, and then you're going to continue until you're out of aggression, and then you are going to score.
And you'll notice mine actually has a 4. Mm-hmm. That's because one of my jails allows me to upgrade the amount of mayhem I can spend on my turn from 3 to 4.
1, 2, and a 3. Perfect. Perfection. So I will start with my Hunter Rose, which will go here. Okay? Now I get to draw a card. That's the action. And then I get to do the kicker action, which is to add aggression into the thing. 1 aggression. There we go. All right, so that's the first thing.
Why'd you put in queens?
Because it's the only place I have a fear token. Go away. This lets me punch. So I'm punching that guy up there, and I'll put a fear token. So if I kill a grunt by punching them, because grunts are weaklings, take 1 punch, I get to put out a fear token.
So I'm going to move. And then I can put in an aggression.
I just grab my elbow.
And then I'm going to move 1, 2. Just remember, it's 1 or 2.
Yeah, vacant
And then
spaces.
I can deploy a captain and 2 grunts. So I'm going to do that here.
If you knock over Brooklyn one more time, Brooklinen, I filled this. So I remove any 2 from this. They get removed. And then I get to add, yes. I'm going to add these 2 to my bag, and we'll clear these out and put them back in my bag.
And then I can arrest.
Mm-hmm.
If I so choose, which I do.
Okay. This will let me put out an aggression, a little bit of aggression. Oh!
I knew that was going to happen.
Hot dog. Okay. So I finish my turn, and then we're going to go into the Mayhem stuff. So now, Mayhem. Did I trigger it? I triggered it. Mm-hmm. So here's what we're going to do. We are taking this, like so. Everybody has had at least 1 phase in the planning phase, or 1 turn in a planning phase. Then we're going to count our aggression. I got 2, 4, 6, 7. What did you get?
6.
Okay, so we put these up. Now the next thing that we can choose to do is sell up to 2 cards from our hand. For each card we get rid of, or discard I should say, we can gain an aggression. Oh, I don't know if I will.
Okay, I'm going to sell 2 for 2.
Well, I'm going to sell this one. So I get to spend up to 3 aggression. And then we're going to go over to Jeff. I'm going to do this for 1, absolute fear. Add a fear token to a space where you have presence and shield it. Okay. Then I will do this, outthink, and I can move 2 of my fear tokens, or I can move fear twice. So I'm gonna go right here. I am in 3 or more places, so I get to, oops, I put my discards on top of my deck. That was silly. So I get to draw a card. And that's me, and now Jeff gets to do 4 aggression because he has his space upgraded.
Yeah, for the first, I'm gonna do make a deal. Each player draws a card.
Oh.
Then degrade a shielded token owned by each opponent and shield 1 of your wagons. And then I score, so I have 2 points.
So then I score, and I will score 1, 2, 3, 4 because I have fear tokens in 4, and there's not more than 3 people. So I score 4. Okay. So Jeff, that was supposed to pass over at the beginning of Mayhem.
Did you get your card?
Yeah, I did. So Jeff is now first player in this planning phase. Now, after all of that, your question might be, who is this game for? Grendel is perfect for fans of asymmetric strategy games, players who love dramatic tension, and anyone who enjoys faction-based conflict with layered tactical gameplay. If you're into area control, dramatic momentum shifts, and a splash of comic book noir brutality, this one's calling your name. And of course it is for fans of the comic book. Off the Page Games is kind of known for, and what they do is they bring graphic novels and comic books to life. So if you are a fan, then this could be a really good fit for you. Now, like I mentioned, we've only showcased 2 of the factions here, but there are 2 other factions, so definitely make sure that you click the link in the description below to check out the page, to watch some playthroughs, read some reviews, watch some overviews, do all of the fun stuff that you need to do to help you decide whether or not this game is a good fit for you. But my friends, that is everything that I have for today's video. Now, if you're interested in buying board games like any of the other games from Off the Page Games, such as Core of Discovery or Harrow County, you should first start by checking your friendly local gaming store. And for us, that's the Boardroom Game Cafe. And if you like what you see, please subscribe. I hope to see you again soon. And now, I say goodbye. Goodbye! Because I'm so tall.
How did I never know how to move these chairs up. What button is it?
It's this one.
That's what I pushed.
No, honey, you're doing the wrong one.
This
next one? No. Yeah. Honey. All right.
That does happen.
That does happen. So I'm just going to refer to it as Grendel moving forward instead of Grendel, the Game of Crime and Mayhem, just to save a little bit of time.
I like that, actually.
Grendel, TGOCAM.
Well, normally you wouldn't put "and" in the acronym.
Grendel, TCOCM?
Nope.
Help. What would it be?
Grendel.
Yeah.
TG.
Yeah.
CM.
TGCM. I'm just going to call it Grendel. We need the shock fork for the first player token, Jeff. Otherwise, what are we doing? You know? Hello. I found you. Hello. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop. Also, I'm currently reading a book called The Hedgehog's Dilemma, and that has drawings of hedgehogs in it. It's kind of the same thing.
I'm rampaging, like the old Rampage video. No?
I do not know what that means.
You've never played Rampage?
No.
Oof, we have to change that.